For your Ride4Rufiji Moment, number 50, my wife has just informed me that I look like a young Kris Kringle.
That's what I said.
That is, she just said that about 30 seconds ago, on my word. A young Santa Claus. And also, a bit of a dilemma as we pass through Newfoundland. We have seen no moose. Have you seen a moose, Sarah?
No.
No? Have you seen a moose, Lukumai? No, because you're asleep. Have I seen a moose? No. We were told that in Newfoundland there would be so many moose aplenty, that we could even start saying meese. And frankly, we haven't even seen one, let alone the plural of moose, meese. So, where are all the meese? Where are all the meese? For your Ride4Rufiji Moment in God's Word, we are in Matthew chapter 23, and this is another one that I'm just going to read to you because it speaks for itself, and it's entitled, in my Bible at least, 7 Woes to the Scribes and the Pharisees. I would say Jesus says it best here. Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The scribes and the Pharisees sit on Moses' seat, so practice and observe whatever they tell you, but not what they do. For they preach, but do not practice. They tie up heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to move them with their finger. They do all their deeds to be seen by others, for they make their phylacteries broad and their fringes long, and they love the place of honor at feasts, and the best seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the marketplaces, and being called rabbi by others. But you are not to be called rabbi, for you have one teacher, and you are all brothers. And call no man your father on earth, for you have one capital Father, capital F, who is in heaven. Neither be called instructors, for you have one instructor, the Christ. The greatest among you shall be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut the kingdom of heaven in men's faces. For you neither enter yourselves nor allow those who would enter to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you travel across the sea and land to make a single convert, and when he becomes one, you make him twice as much a child of hell as yourselves." I've always thought that was a word to be heeded by missionaries. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, "If anyone swears by the temple, it is nothing. But if anyone swears by the gold of the temple, he is bound by his oath. You blind fools, for which is greater, the gold or the temple that has made the gold sacred? And you say, if anyone swears by the altar, it is nothing. But if anyone swears by the gift that is on the altar, he is bound by his oath. You blind men, for which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? So whoever swears by the altar swears by it and by everything on it. And whoever swears by the temple swears by it and by him who dwells in it. And whoever swears by heaven swears by the throne of God and by him who sits upon it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint and dill and cumin, but you have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. These you ought to have done without neglecting the others. You blind guides, straining out a gnat and swallowing a camel. I told you that Jesus says it best. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and the plate, and the outside also may be clean. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly appear beautiful, but within are full of dead people's bones and all uncleanliness. So you also outwardly appear righteous to others, but within you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Whitewashed tombs. Incredible, but so descriptive. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you build the tombs of the prophets and decorate the monuments of the righteous, saying, if we had have lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have taken part with them in the shedding of the blood of the prophets. Thus you witness against yourselves that you are the sons of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measure of your fathers, you serpents, you brood of vipers. How are you to escape being sentenced to hell? Therefore I send you prophets and wise men and scribes, some of whom you will kill and crucify, and some you will flog in your synagogues and persecute from town to town, so that on you may come all the righteous blood shed on earth, from the blood of innocent Abel to the blood of Zechariah the son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the sanctuary and the altar. Truly I say to you, all these things will come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you would not. See, your house is left to you desolate. For I tell you, you will not see me again until you say, Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. I remember hearing a story once, and I don't know if it's a true story, but I think the point that is made through the story is valid nonetheless. It was a story about Turkey, about ancient Turkey, a place that used to have more of a Christian presence, definitely more freedom for the church. If you go to modern-day Turkey, you will find a Muslim country, and you will find Christians that are persecuted, and Christians that are killed for their faith. But I heard a story of a time where the church was still free, and Christians were still in abundance in Turkey. So much so that the Christians became cavalier and started to become not unlike these Pharisees that Jesus is rebuking in Matthew 23. And they were all meeting together to talk about holy water and to determine if holy water was still holy if a fly dropped into it. And this was so much of a controversy that they brought all the most important people together and made a whole event of it. All the while, the Muslim invaders were surrounding Turkey, about to sack it, about to sack the churches and kill the Christians. Well, the Christian elite, I suppose, were distracted by the holiness of water if a fly drops into it. Oh, Canada, Canada. This has been your Ride for Rufiji Moment number 50.